You know what I was thinking about, ladies and gentlemen, in the black community, the majority of black people say that they're Christian. And we know saying that you're Christian and everything with Christianity and how it was fed to us even during slavery taught us to be docile, taught us to, oh, we'll have a better life in the sweet by and by. We need to turn the other cheek. But I thought, what if the majority of black Americans was Islamic? Because when you look at Islam, they don't believe in all that turn the other cheek. They believe in the law of retaliation. They believe in keeping their family structure real tight and together. Like, if you look at like the principles of Islam, they have a very, very strict code about family and sticking together and whatever. I think if I had a choice to say what religion all black Americans would be, I say black Americans should have been Islam.
உங்களுக்கு வந்து கார் வேணும்னா பிளாக் கலர் வேணும் கிளாஸா, ஃபோன் வேணும்னா பிளாக் கலர் கிளாஸா வேணும், வீடு பெயிண்ட் வேணும் செம்ம கிளாஸியா வேணும்னா பிளாக் கலர் வேணும். ஆனா பீப்புள் மட்டும் டார்க்கா இருந்தா அவங்கள அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிக்க மாட்டாங்க.
The British actually purchased grain that the Bengalis could barely afford to buy in order to ship it to Europe, not to aid the war effort as his defenders claim, but to boost the buffer stocks in the event of a future possible invasion of Greece and Yugoslavia. People started dying, and Churchill said, well, it's all their fault anyway for breeding like rabbits. He said, I hate the Indians. They're a beastly people with a beastly religion. Australian ships were docking in Calcutta port and were ordered by Churchill and his odious paymaster, General Lord Cherwell, not to disembark their wheat, but to sail on to Europe, where their wheat might be used in some future reserve stock, saying that people were dying literally on the streets, and all Churchill could bring himself to do was write peevishly on the side of the file, why hasn't Gandhi died yet?
Wow.
And this is the man the British want us to hail as an apostle of freedom and democracy, when he has as much blood on his hands as some of the worst genocidal dictators of the 20th century.
We are the Muslim wing of the black grassroots. Unapologetic, strong, uncompromising voices that have been in the faces of the enemy and those who tap dance for them. The Feachaz is proud to present the archives exclusively on Patreon.
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam Rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a lot of haters up in here. And family, let me tell you, okay? Lately, I've been working quite a long shifts because, it's the holidays. So, we got to work extra, right? So I had just finished work, and then my phone starts blowing up with this Andrew Tate story. And I'm pretty sure that most of you know by now what the story is. But mind you, we are the black grassroots. And we had touched up on the brother Andrew Tate previously, not because we have any sort of personal problem with the brother Andrew Tate, but rather the only reason why he became important was because of the reckless behavior of your YouTubian Dawa elites who were monetizing the mention of this man's name long before he was Muslim. Let me say it again. They were monetizing the mention of this man's name long before he became Muslim. We don't have no personal problem with Brother Andrew Tate. What we said was that it was irresponsible for the Muslims to put Andrew Tate on their large platforms like The Dean Show, like a Muhammad Hijab, knowing full and well his background, which is not hidden. And anybody who can take 2 or 3 minutes to research the Brother Andrew Tate's background and see why it was totally irresponsible for the Muslims to do this. And that this could, and we are the ones on the Black Classrooms, we put this out there. We said there's a high probability that this will backfire, right? One of the things that we specifically mentioned was that, yes, he is rich because of prostitution. This is one of the things that we specifically mentioned. How do you have someone like this before he's Muslim, and you're putting them in front of millions of Muslims? How do you do that? You know how you do that? You know why you do that? It's because since he's the most Googled man in modern times, Brother Andrew Tate, you can ride that name right home to the bank. Screw the consequences. Screw the potential nuking that you might receive. Forget all that. Get money. Get money. So I would like to play, if you do not mind, something that I saw on Instagram. Right? And mind you, this particular individual is very clear. You're going to see that they don't like Andrew Tate. Me, I don't care this way or that way. I'm just saying, if I watch somebody who is not appropriate for the wider Muslim audience, why would I put that person in front of a Muslim? You get it? That's what I'm saying. There are several people I watch that I would never even think about, oh, go watch this guy. Never. But let's have a look at this.
You can say right now that they're trying to tell you they're public, because they are. They did it on purpose. They've done it across multiple different advertising campaigns with multiple hints per advertising campaign.
So Andrew Tate was deplatformed for a minute, and then Twitter let him back. And right around that time, he made this video about Balenciaga. And I saw this crap everywhere. All these people like, Andrew Tate out here speaking the truth. So many people and news feed accounts sharing that. Like Andrew Tate has any business talking about people who prey on children or predators in general. Let me give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. The other day, unprovoked, he sent this tweet to Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars, my Bugatti, 16.8, blah, 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 all about how many emissions he creates. And he asked if she would want a comprehensive list of all of his vehicles. She responded, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldenergy@getalife.com. And the internet exploded with people going like, this young girl just owned this guy. And he got really bothered by that. Now you may say, what does that have to do with him being like a predator? Hold on. Because then Jake Shields tweeted, Andrew Tate and Greta need to stop flirting and just F already. And Andrew Tate responded, she ain't ready. Jake went on, just give her a proper smashing and she will knock it off with the crazy feminist/climate nonsense. DJ followed up with, sometimes the D is all they need. And Jake said, the majority of the time. Greta Thunberg is barely 19. He's like 36, going on 37. And if you're like, oh, she's legal. If you're someone who sits there and waits for a date on a calendar for when you can pursue someone, you are a predator. And let's not forget Tate's own words of why he left the UK and moved to Romania after he was being investigated. He suggested it was because it would be easier to get away with grape charges. This is, quote, probably 40% of the reason I moved. He went on, I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do what I want. I like being free. Yeah, Guys who think that way don't stop to check ID. Well, that's okay. I don't think the Romanian police think he's very funny. Because this was his house in Romania about an hour ago. That's when Romanian authorities raided the house that he shares with his brother and arrested them both for human trafficking. You see, sometimes predators like to call other people or organizations predators just as a way of going, hey, look over here, and drawing attention away from themselves.
So look at here, family. This is what we know about the YouTubian now elites. Okay, this is what we know. Okay, we know that when Kyrie Irving last year made that big gaffe, and remember, he wasn't even Muslim a full year yet. Okay? Wasn't even Muslim a full year. Kyrie Irving said something about God being everywhere. They could not wait to put out refutations on Kyrie Irving, correct? They couldn't wait to do it. I remember when Mike Tyson put tats on his face. They could not wait to go after Mike Tyson. But let's see your YouTubian Dawa elites from, not making istinja correctly. How are they going to clean this mess up? I don't know what the details are behind this particular case, but I'll tell you this. Let me just read something to you from Wikipedia. Shall we read from Wikipedia? Where are the super chats? Okay. What do you think I'm doing this for? Look at here. Let me tell you something, okay? There are 25 of y'all right now. All right. We are talking about Andrew Tate because the same reason your YouTubian Italian elites talk about Andrew Tate, because of the algorithms. Let us be very clear, okay? Let us be very clear here. That's why there's so many of y'all late night watching this right now. But the difference between us and them is that everything we say is actual facts, okay? We ain't mincing words. We don't do that. We don't do that here. Y'all hearing me? So look at here. Let me share my screen. Let me remind you that we put out a small video, just a small video of some of my private WhatsApp chats when people ask me about the conversion of Andrew Tate. And some of the things I mentioned in that video was, it's neither here or there, right? Alhamdulillah, this is beneficial for him. However, we said in that video, you watch, your YouTubian Da'i elites are going to invite him on the big platforms like maybe Muhammad Hijab, maybe the Ding Ding Show, and both of them invited him. Okay? That's exactly what we said. Go back and, maybe I should play this thing. No, actually, I shouldn't play the whole thing because it's like a little bit graphic, right? But that's what we said. We said that. And we said that it was not appropriate for them to be pushing him in front of the Muslims to begin with. Why? Because he got his money from like this type of porno business that he was doing, right? On what's it, OnlyFans or something like this. And on top of that, he has a connection with the Middle East. That's what we said. It's right there. You can go check it yourself. He has a connection with the Middle East. And what he's living in Romania. What do you think those people in the Middle East, have such a great relationship with Andrew Tate from Romania for? You don't think he's going to be bringing women there? Did we not say that? You don't think he's going to be bringing women from Romania to the Middle East and stuff? We alluded to that. Did we not say this? So let me just read something to you. This is so crazy, man. Look at this. Prostitution in Romania. Y'all watching this? Prostitution in Romania is not itself criminalized, although associated activities such as procuring are per criminal offenses, and solicitation is a contravention punishable by fines. Okay? In the late 19th century and the first half of the 20th century, there are legalized brothels, but they were closed by the communist regimes in the 1940s, and prostitution itself became a criminal offense in 1957. Prostitution was decriminalized in 2014. Can somebody please look at timelines between Andrew Tate and his money-making stuff in Romania, please? This is why we said this was irresponsible. Even irresponsible, let's even begin to describe what that was. See, this is what happens when you don't have standards. Just make up anything you want and call it the religion of Allah. And when Allah has clearly dictated to you what his religion is in the Quran and the Sunnah, do something different and say this is Islam. That's these guys. Your YouTubian Dawi elites. So the new religion now, the new religion is influence. That's the new religion. So I want you to imagine with Romania now, with such liberal stances on prostitution. They have quite the liberal, as we read, decriminalized in 2014. Okay. Even Andrew Tate, he had to admit that's one of the reasons why he moved to Romania, because of its laxed, laws for prostitution. He said that, not me. How much trouble he must be in for being charged for this type of crime in Romania. Can you imagine? I personally, I don't know, like the whole background. Like we don't know. We just don't know, right? We don't know if this is politically motivated because of his spat with Greta Thunberg. We don't know. We don't know if it's, we don't know, but we do know that that was his business. Like who from the black grassroots is really surprised? Just put it that way. Who from the black grassroots is shocked? Are any of you guys shocked? Are any of you guys surprised? That's all we're saying. As a matter of fact, the entire time I thought this one, I was just thinking that this is not gonna end good. It's gonna end up with something like this. It's gonna end with something like this. I was thinking this the whole time. I alluded to it publicly, and here it is. Here it is. No, none of us are surprised. Not a single one of us is surprised. But you know who's going to be in damage control tomorrow? Your YouTubian that elites, probably trying to either hide or delete or, you know what I'm saying? Or not even mention certain names, secretly just kind of, you know that Simpsons scene when whatchamacallit, Homer Simpson was just quietly walking backwards into the bush until he disappeared. You're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like that. Zero standards. Zero standards. Greta's parents are Swedish high-ranking elites. She supported heavily in Europe. Yeah, it could be because of that. It could be because of that. Straight up. Let me tell you something. Andrew Tate has been all over doing all kinds of interviews and stuff all over the red pill spaces. Okay. And he hasn't really missed a step from when before he was Muslim, correct? Has he been saying anything different? Has he been changing his language? No. You know what I mean? So this is not an indictment on him because he's a new Muslim, right? It's not an indictment on him, but it is a very solid indictment on those who knew better. Those who knew that you shouldn't be putting someone like this in front of the people. They knew better. Well, he was saying a lot about how we will have false accusations. We don't know. We just don't know. I don't pretend to know, but I will say I'm not surprised. Anybody with the computer and internet can look on how this guy made his money. You can do that at any time. He wasn't hiding. So if you know this stuff, then why, as a self-respecting Muslim, are you promoting a pimp? You ever heard of this book called Pimp by what's his name again? Iceberg Slim. What's his name? David Chappelle. He mentioned it in one of his skits, right? Iceberg Slim, and he had But anyways, if you read this book, or as a matter of fact, if you read any book written by any pimp, okay, ever, okay, red pill today is that stuff. That's all it is. And now you were introducing pimp logic to the wider Muslim community, and you don't feel anything about it. If you're openly making statements such as the ones he's made, what can he expect? That is a problem. That is a problem. You understand? Even he was thrown off of these social media platforms for similar things, violence against women, these type of things, right? I don't believe that he's necessarily guilty of that. But when you have a target on your back, and you know you have a target on your back, you have to be more cautious about the way you move. Especially if you've taken a position politically, like this red pill position. Y'all hearing me? We said it time and time again, red pill is absolutely not. It is not appropriate for Muslims. If anything, some of it might be appropriate for Black Muslims because we have a society which is completely upside down. Okay, we are matriarchal in nature, full of just riddled with single parent homes, absolutely riddled. And Islam, even though many of us are Muslim, we're suffering from the same ills, the same social ills with Black feminism, these type of things. So I can see it in the Black community, but how are you introducing this type of ideology to Pakistanis, to Egyptians, to Afghanis, to Indonesians, to Khalijis, like the Gulf countries? How are you introducing this stuff to those people? Like, it's not making any sense whatsoever. Let me show y'all. You don't believe me? Let's see some of what your YouTube. I'm just doing this just to show you, okay? Because y'all are gonna think I'm tripping if you're watching this for the first time, and I'm not tripping. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let me show y'all. Let me just get this set up for you, okay? Like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon. You can't make this crap up. You ready to see this? Are you ready to see this? You think I'm joking? Watch. Y'all ain't ready. Are you ready? I don't think y'all are ready. I do not think y'all are ready for this. Who has the biggest interview platform in Muslim space for years? Who is it? Somebody put it in the chat, please. Who has the biggest platform in Muslim space for interviews, strictly interviews? Who is it? Put it in the chat, please. Somebody put it in the chat. I need somebody to put this in the chat, please. Who has? Thank you. Thank you, Voice of Jah. Voice of Islam, Jamaica. You ready? The Dean Show, correct? He's got the biggest interview platform in Muslim space, correct? It's the Dean Show. Strictly interviews for years. Strictly interviews. Watch this, y'all. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. You all deep. This is the Dean Show. This is his YouTube channel. This is his introduction video. Piers Morgan takes on Andrew Tate again, just 7 days ago. You can't make this crap up. Look at this. Andrew Tate, Islam cures racism. 5 hours ago. Piers Morgan again. Mo Salah. Israeli response to Jordan Peterson. Kanye West. Why do you think he's talking about everything that the alt-right is talking about? Every single, all of them? All of the alt-right personalities? Alex Jones, Kanye West, Jordan Peterson, and Andrew Tate just 5 hours ago? Not to mention, the Dean Show invited the one and only Jesse Lee Peterson. White supremacy and black skin. And not only did he invite him, but he openly said, we have a lot in common with Jesse Lee Peterson. What did Jesse Lee Peterson get charged with? What did he get charged with? These guys are just killing it in terms of being good judges of character. Jesse Lee Peterson, thank you, Earthly Nomad. He got charged with sodomy. He got charged with, Jesse Lee Peterson got charged of chasing Polish sausage. Who invited him? Who invited him to the Muslims? The Dean Show. Who invited Jordan Peterson to the Muslims? It was first Daniel Hakikachu, introducing his material to the Muslims. Muhammad Hijab having interviews with Jordan Peterson, even after the wider Muslim community had divorced themselves from Jordan Peterson. Here come Muhammad Hijab. Come back, come back. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? These are your YouTubian da'i elites. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And as we said it once, if we said it once, we said it a million times. If you are seeking knowledge from a YouTuber, then you are an idiot. We don't need to check your IQ score. The second that you say, I seek knowledge from such and such a YouTuber, you don't, we're like, who do you seek knowledge from, right? Well, I seek knowledge from Sheikh Albani. I seek knowledge from Sheikh Bin Baz. I seek knowledge from Sheikh Uthaymeen, Sheikh Salih Fawzan, Sheikh Abdulaziz al-Sheikh, or Sheikh Muhammad al-Man al-Jami, or from the older Shaykh, like the African Shaykh, Sheikh Uthman Danfodio, from the modern ones, Sheikh Bilal Phillips, Sheikh, Abdul Hakim Quick, Sheikh Tahir Wahid. Here come a 20-year-old. Well, I seek knowledge from Daniel Hakikachu.
Who?
Y'all are tripping. Y'all are straight tripping. How can we take any of you seriously? You want us to seek knowledge from
who?
From like, are you stupid? You are stupid. Like, I'm sorry to say it like that. You're stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. I want y'all to imagine a situation now. You go to the doctor, right? And you see the doctor's walls are filled with like YouTube, plaques all over the doctor's office. Okay, just YouTube plaques everywhere. But you don't find the doctor's actual degrees. Doctor's getting ready to maybe give you an operation. and you ask him, excuse me, doc, I'm noticing all these YouTube plaques. No degree. Where did you study? The doctor says, YouTube. Are you staying? Are you staying? Are you staying? Yes or no? You're getting ready to get operated on. Your doctor says he became a doctor on YouTube. Are you staying? Thank you. Thank you. But you have these YouTubers, they have work for Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, okay? They have work for him. You've got to be tripping. These are the people that are introducing you to these characters. They're introducing you to these characters. You want me to study with sick, man. It's really, really sick. It really is sick. No respect for Islamic knowledge at all. But all the mouth and talk and hot air that a human being can possibly have. It's ridiculous. It's because you don't want to do the work. You don't want to go. You know, when the first day I went to the match, okay, I was in Aden. Okay, it's a true story. Okay, I was in Aden. Okay, I was in with a brother named Musa. Okay, we went to Yemen together. Okay, and we're trying to go north to the match, right? So Aden's all the way in the south, right? You can't go through Sana'a because Sana'a is run by the Shia, right? They'll just turn you back. So you have to go through Aden and you have to sneak up north to the match to go study, right? If you want to go study. It's a long trek. All right, so we stayed in Aden for one day in the hotel. And we go to the taxi depot the next morning, okay? And on the way, we are getting hungry, okay? So we asked the driver. It's a true story, okay? We asked the driver, you know, like I'm the only one who can speak broken Arabic, okay? I was speaking with my little broken Arabic, and I was studying like the Medina series books in Canada, so I'm trying to use my Arabic so that we can get to the match, right? So Musa knew nothing, like nothing. So I'm the one who's communicating, right? So I'm trying to get him to, like, we need something to eat, right? So he takes us to this restaurant. The restaurant is just cinder block, okay? If you approach this place, you'll never think it's a restaurant. It's on the way, right? And it's in the middle of the desert, and it's just a cinder block building, no paint, nothing, right? I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So you go inside, right? And we sat down, okay? And the driver, he orders the food for us, okay? And the food comes, okay, about 20 minutes later. And it's a massive pound, like a massive plate of meat like this. It's like just like, you know, like a mound. It's very big, right? On those sahin, like these big sunnah plates, right? Big, okay? And they have this type of bread in Yemen. It's delicious, amazing bread. It's called malawah, right? It's like Yemeni bread. It's like a Yemeni flat bread. Okay, the name of it is like malawah. That's how they call it, right? So he brings the malawah, right? I didn't know the name of it. I just know it's bread, and I just knew it was delicious, right? So Musa now, right? He goes, Bilal. I go, what? He goes, look at the bread. And wallahi, billahi, talahi, okay? I look at the bread, and there's literally like thousands of these mites crawling in the bread. The bread is just moving, okay? With thousands of mites in the bread. He goes, Bilal, what do we do? I'm like, Bismillah. And I ate. I ate that bug-infested bread. And he did too. That was my first experience in Yemen trying to go seek knowledge. And still, I do not consider myself a talib al-ilm. I have had bronchitis seeking knowledge. Okay. I have had bed bugs. Bed bugs seeking. If y'all know bed bugs, not cute. Okay. I was eating rice and beans that were tearing my stomach up to shreds. They call it fasulia in Yemen. Fasulia is like this beans. That stuff tore my stomach up. And I would never, ever confuse myself or allow anybody watching me confuse me for a talib al-ilm. Ask Daniel Hakikachu what he think about the Diobandis. Ask Daniel Hakikachu what he think about Jordan Peterson and Hizb ut-Tahrir. He will give you a fatwa on anything. There's not a question he doesn't know the answer to. Y'all hearing me? These are the people they propping up. These are the people they are propping up. You have got to be kidding me. So sick, man. And you expect me to take somebody who's taking their knowledge from YouTube seriously? Someone like me, who has literally listened to hundreds of lectures of Mukbil and hundreds of lectures of Albani and Uthaymeen and a few lectures from Bin Baz, but mostly read his books in English, of course, right? and you know, listen to the lectures of Sheikh Rabi' and read his books, even though I don't necessarily promote Sheikh Rabi' like that anymore, right? But he's an alim. He's an alim. Some sick people, man. So now these are the fruits of your labor because you chose algorithms over the actual religion. That was your religion is algorithms. You're lazy, intellectually lazy. You don't want to read the book on them, but you want to get fatwa. You don't want to learn under the feet of ulama, but you'll listen to 5-minute, 10-minute clips for 2 hours, 3 hours straight. You can't listen to a whole 2-hour lecture. So what do? Because you have attention deficit disorder from your phones and your laptops and stuff, you'll listen to 100 5-minute clips. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Anybody who seeks knowledge on YouTube is a damn idiot, and they should be treated like they're an idiot. Okay? That's as simple as that. And if there are millions of these idiots, then know that the Prophet ﷺ, he said that there will come a time where the knowledge will be taken from the people, not by the loss of books, not by the loss of lectures, but by the death of the ulama. How many ulama have died in the last just 5 years only? We said a lot of ulama died, but not on this level. Not on this level. And then the people will start taking the hasty youth as their scholars and their leaders. And they will be ignorant. They are ignorant, and they will lead themselves astray and the people astray. That's these guys. You're going to beg them to follow the truth? That's these people. These are the Ruwaybida. You don't see it? These are the Ruwaybida. It's them. And let me tell you something. From the scholars that we have, the big name scholars that we have today, I give it about 1 or 2 decades, all of them will be dead. There is clearly not enough tulab al-ilm to replace these scholars. Very obvious. And from these tulab al-ilm, they themselves don't have students. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? When you have buffoons talking about to seek knowledge from this YouTuber or that YouTuber, just let these people do what they do. This is prophecy happening right before your eyes. And follow the guidance of the Prophet. Hang on to your religion, even if you have to bite off the roots of trees and die in that street, in that state. Let these buffoons do what they do. You're not going. No amount of talking will help them. These are people that have become brave because of social media. You get it? We didn't have that back in the day. Back in the day, which is not too long ago, those who didn't have knowledge didn't speak, and they wouldn't even think about doing it. You have today AIM conference, people inviting the ignoramuses and putting them on platforms to blow up the Salafi Dawah. Blow it up. Never seen that before in my entire life. Never even heard of it in Islamic history. Never heard of it in Islamic history. And people still take these guys seriously. We are supposed to beg you to see like the reality of this issue. Is that what we're supposed to do? Keep doing what you are doing. Social media made the cowards brave. The ignorant believe that they have knowledge. It gave the most despicable people a voice. And anybody who has ears to listen. And so you have Muslim channels now putting the most despicable people in front of the Muslims. Jesse Lee Peterson, of all people on earth. Jordan Peterson, who has openly been alt-right, a Zionist from day one, anti-Islamic from day one. Muslims are inviting him to their platforms. Anyways, as we said with Brother Andrew Tate, we are not surprised. We don't know if these allegations are true, but we're not surprised because anybody, again, with any sense, if you have two brain cells to rub together to make a spark in your head, how long does it take to go on Google to look up his background that he's not hiding anyways? That was his business. And he's teaching other men how to do this business. So how are you even surprised? But it could be a political thing, possible. It could, or if it is real, if this is the truth, then he should absolutely be charged. 100%. The timing is a little bit convenient, to be honest. It's convenient. I will say that. But at the same time, there's no way that Muslims should have been putting him in front of people to begin with. So I'll leave you guys with that. Don't forget that tomorrow we're going live as well, inshallah. We're going to be going live all weekend this weekend, inshallah. So come on, catch us on the lives. We're going to have some hot topics. And also we are changing the direction of the channel again, right? We have, again, one of your brave trolls. We welcome the trolls, right? Like this individual, the seeker. We welcome the trolls. If you're so brave, click the link and come on. You should pray for Hidayah instead of yelling into a black-only echo chamber. Where are the non-blacks? Because he thinks we're in a black-only echo chamber. You're not black, obviously. But why don't you come and tell me that to my face? But this is what they do. And behind a keyboard, it's easy to be brave. Very, very easy. Because especially when you're like this person, don't show your picture. Don't show your face. Don't show nothing. But think that, some smart remark or something like that is the way to go. Because you've never been, like, people like this don't get punched in the face, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they're hiding their identity. You get it? They hide it. Jazakallah khair, man. Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you 10,000-fold. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Sister Tika, ameen. Ameen. So they come to waste our time, and it's fine. Because we are talking to black people directly. So of course they're going to hate that. We talk about black issues here directly. So of course they hate that. They want us to continue cleaning their toilets, doing their security, and spending money at their bazaars and stuff. While every one of your large YouTubian elites has taken a sharp right turn and anti-black stances. But they don't have nothing to say about that. You get it? You get it? They have nothing to say about that. Everybody say Ameen. Wow, mashallah, jazakallah khair, Sister Tika. Once again, may Allah reward you and bless and multiply for you 100,000-fold. Ameen. I've been trying to support you, but YouTube wouldn't let me. May Allah reward your efforts and make it successful. Ameen. 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 This is the platform where our conversations are our conversations. If you'd like to visit, it's no problem. It's no problem. But just like you have your enclave groups within Western society, you don't invite us. You have your own issues to deal with, and you're building your own communities. This is the beginning of us building our own. This is the beginning of us building our own. Don't like it? You can kick rocks. Jazakallah khair. May Allah reward you and bless you all. May Allah reward and bless the Sister Tika for her generosity. Multiply it for you 100,000-fold. Ameen. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu la ilaha ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. I'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.